Hey, this is Max at 343 Labs. We're a music production school based in New York City, Berlin, and online. And today I'd like to show you a clip by one of our instructors, John Selway, which is taken from 343 TV, which airs right here on our channel several days per week. Now, if you want to watch the full stream, head over to studio.343labs.com, link in the description, which is our new producer hub where you can meet other producers, get free content, collaborate, and get feedback on your music. Enjoy the clip.
Let's get into looking at this guy, this Microtuner. So this is the new device, the controversial, according to some, device from Ableton, the Max for Live device. If you have the suite, you can just download it in your packs. And there are more powerful devices that do tuning and that are great for designing and modifying scales and doing different tunings and things like that. This one, I feel like it does kind of simplify and make a little bit more accessible the concept. It's a nice interface. It's easy to use. It's not overly complicated. And even just with the few built-in scales, you can import custom files. Scala files can be imported into this, and you can have any existing scale from any type of system, whether it's a, culturally relevant scale system or just something arbitrarily created or something mathematically created. It can import all of those. It can generate, sort of semi-randomly generate tunings and that you can apply. And it uses either MPE, right? So, MPE allows you to tune individual notes apart and use expression on individual notes. If the plugin is compatible with that, it will send out MPE and change the tunings for each note. Or if you don't have an MPE synth, like for example, I'm just trying it here with analog, you can use pitch bend. So with MPE off, it's sending out pitch bend. And you need to make sure that the pitch bend amount in the Microtuner is the same as the pitch bend amount range in the synth, right? So analog goes up to 12 semitones. So in order for the tuning coming out of here to be accurate, you have to set the pitch bend amount at 12. That way you get, what you see is what you get, is what you hear. Cool. All right, so I created, all right, there's just too much reverb on that kick. Fix that. All right, just in the background a little bit. Just there keeping time. And, this is me, instead of using a step sequencer or an arpeggiator to do a repetitive pattern, I just sort of semi-randomly drew some notes. Originally I started out with pretty much just a default analog, and it's just doing a plucky sawtooth. A little bit of envelope mod on the filter. And I was playing around a little bit with sync modulation with a tone, but nothing fancy here. I wanted to be able to go from really short and plucky to full with a longer release. But I also wanted to be able to have this tone, but have it be tight and plucky again. So I decided to use a synced LFO. It's just, sawtooth wave, 16th notes. So I can do anything with the envelope, and it's still going to keep doing that. How does it sound with the big beat? All right. That's a start. going back to the whole sort of chord trigger idea, in this case, I'm not using the arpeggiator and playing chords. I'm just putting in a one-note melody, but then I obviously can turn that into chords by adding MIDI notes to that with the chord effect. And so this is just triads. I think we're back in Rob Hood world now. A little loud. And thinking about key tracking again. Higher amount of key tracking, even with the cutoff really low. We're hearing the high notes stick out. Or I could go the opposite way. Oops, not the envelope. It's kind of taking all those parallel chords, but because the filter's changing for higher, lower notes, we're hearing different notes stick out because the filter's opening up and closing up per note. All right, a lot of possibility and power just with that. You know, there I am talking about key tracking again. Let's lose the chord and get into the Microtuner. I'm gonna leave that one and let's open up another one. Audio effects after. Oh, wrong Microtuner. That's annoying. There's two. There it is. There's the new one. It's in the packs, not in the. There it is. So you hear how the notes just shifted, right? Let's get rid of that kick for a second. And it's stuck now. What just happened? So yeah, in order for this to work, you got to turn MPE off. Make the pitch bend here is 12. I have the pitch bend over here as 12. Right, so right now it's splitting up an octave into 5 different notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that's an octave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you hear the octave above your C. Sounds a little, almost Middle Eastern, but it isn't. Right, so that's just a simple example of you're dividing an octave into 5 equal steps. Actually, they're not equal. It looks like wide, narrow, wide, narrow. You can kind of see how it gets divided up. Try. That's 7. That looks like 7. They're not all exactly the same, but pretty close. What does that sound like? Divided up again. Going up chromatically. Right? That's 7. Nice. There's 2 of these, right? 2 scales that you can have, A and B. A is set to 7. I'm going to go over to B, and that one's set to just 12. It's like it's a just tuning. It's a little bit different than what you typically hear in a chromatic scale. And if you click blend, then you can fade between the tunings. Which I think is really cool. Are there any other plugins, tuning plugins that let you do this? There must be something. There probably is something. guys are talking about one of my old tracks with Christian? Oh, the weather remixes. That was a good one. That was a big track for us. It's one of my favorites too. It's tough. All right. So that's what's going on here, is that you've got two different tunings that you can switch between. I haven't expanded on the available scales yet, but you can import scale files into this. It includes just a few examples, right? Divided into 5, 7, 9, just 12, which is close to what you're normally expecting, and then 16, which is giving you smaller spaces in between. And I haven't tried the generator yet. I've just been fooling around with the preset scales, the preset tunings. And I like this as a simple way of creating different vibe or tension in your track, going between two tunings. And whether it works musically or not, it's going to take some experimentation. And it also depends on the notes going in. Different notes are, higher and lower notes are going to get transposed to different pitches, or adjusted to different pitches in real time. So it's definitely going to take a little bit of experimentation. I also thought, all right, what does this sound like with chords? So polyphony, the voices and analog are kind of freaking out now because there's so many notes going on. I'm going to go back to my other instance. I think I liked this one a little bit better. Right, so you have this, or I could put the chord after the microtuner. And this is going to sound a little bit more musically together, because even though the melodic notes are on a different tuning, each time it plays a note, we're going to hear an identifiable chromatic triad. So it's going to be kind of a combo of this alternative tuning and what we're used to hearing. That's where I left it. This is sort of, all right, that's kind of cool. How are we doing for time? 1:54 already. Gosh, I'm getting lost in the wormhole of microtuning. Okay, jury's still out on that sound. I like this better as a track. All right, I have one more element playing around with the alternative tuning. So shiny, bright, ringy. I love the sound of this. This is already cool, but it really is amazing with the alternative tuning. Hypnotizing. Let's hear what happens if I change the scale. Just these tiny little differences. It's like tweaking my brain. Like, what is going on with the pitch? Just the shifting between the different intervals is, you know, it's really cool how easy it is to do that with this thing. Definitely a lot of fun.
I hope you enjoyed that. Again, if you want to watch the full stream, head over to studio.343labs.com, link in the description below. And that is our new producer hub where you can find free content, collaborate with other musicians, get feedback on your music, and just meet a community of like-minded artists and producers. See you next time.